everybody, Doug here with another video to help you with your overall success with SAP SuccessFactors. Today we'll be showing you all the different user options available to you in the system. Let's take a look at the password options available to you. In order to access the passwords menu, click on your icon, then click on Settings to access the user settings page. Here you'll see a bunch of different options available to you. If password is available to you, that means that you've been permissioned to see it. If you go to this area and you do not see the passwords options, chances are you're on single sign-on, in which case this would not be here. Additional note for administrators, you could remove the password options from your environment even if you do have passwords enabled. I, however, would not recommend this, as there could be some downstream impacts where a person, when they go to actually change the password after it's been reset for them, they won't be able to. So please, if again you are using passwords, I would highly recommend that this area is left open for your employees to see. Some of the things to take a note of at the password section. You have to enter in your current password in order to change it. And again, you'll be able to enter in your new password twice. And again, depending on what options have been set up by your company, they could have changed some of these settings. So for example, it could be 2 to 18 characters, or your organization may have changed that. Maybe it's 8 to 18 characters. Again, the way the options have been set up for your organization will be displayed here. Once finished, just simply click on Set Password and your new password will be saved. Have you ever logged into the SuccessFactors system and wished that the first page you see was the page you most commonly use? Well, now there's a way you can do that. Let's check that out. Click on your image icon and go into Settings. From Settings, you'll see many different options. But for now, I'd like to pay attention to the Start page. When you click on the Start page, you can actually now select which page you'd like it to start with. So for example, if you're a manager during the performance management time of the year, you may want to select Performance Management. That way when you sign into the system, it will always be taken to the Performance Management page. Perhaps you're an administrator and you always are starting your day off in the Admin Center. Well, let's select Admin Center, click on Save. The next time you log in, that will exactly be the page you'll be taken to. Let's see that in action. Click on your image icon again and click on Log Out. Now, when you go back to log in, let's see what happens. Now that we've successfully logged back into the system, you'll see that you're brought right back into the admin area. Again, small little tip that may help to save a few seconds in your day. I've previously set up my Start page to be going to my Performance Management tab once I log into the system. When I go to log in, you'll see that I'll be brought to the inbox on the Performance Management page. However, I'd like to be able to make this go to the Team Overview page. This too is also now available. Simply click on your image icon, click on Settings, and go to the Sub-tab Configuration page. Once I click on that, I'm actually able to select which of the sub-tabs to be using every time my system lands on that page. So in this example, I'm going to move from Reviews underneath Performance Management to the Team Overview. I'm going to click on that, scroll down to the bottom, click on Save. And now every time that I access the Performance Management page, it will default to the Team Overview. If I click on Home, just to give you an example, and now I click on the Performance tab, you'll see that I'll immediately be taken to the Team Overview page. Just another way to help save a few extra seconds in your day. Let's take a look at the User Notifications page. This can be accessed by clicking on your image icon, going to Settings, and in the left-hand nav bar you will see an area for Notifications. In this area, you will see that you're able to have the emails be sent to you, or I could choose to read the messages in the system. Just want to point out that reading messages in the system is not a collection of emails. Rather, this is just making use of the to-do tile. There are no emails stored. Again, in this option here, you'll see that I cannot select anything, and that's because by company-wide setting, all this notifications have been enforced, meaning that the user is not allowed to change this. This is something that an administrator can change to allow the users the ability to stop emails coming to them from the system. The Notifications tab is something that is part of the base system and cannot be removed. It will always be here. Let's take a look at how to change your language setting inside SAP SuccessFactors. First, go to your image icon, click on Settings, and choose Change Language from the left-hand nav bar. Here you'll see all the different languages that your system is configured with. At the time of this video, there are almost 50 languages available inside SuccessFactors. Not all those languages may be displayed here. Again, only the languages configured for your environment will be displayed. To select a different language, just simply click on the radio button and hit switch. Now, some customers have asked me saying they've switched their language but chose the wrong one by accident and had no idea how to get back to what they wanted to do. Let's just go through a little example on how you can get back to that, as most of the settings are always the same. So as you can see here, I'm actually switching my environment to Japanese, and my screen will be all in Japanese. Easily just click on your icon again, click on the sprocket or the gear option, and then usually it'll be option number 5 in your menu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only time that this usually is not language is if we've removed the password option from the menu. Click on the language you like, and then again the blue button, and you'll switch it back. Hopefully this will help you out. Let's take a look at the compensation number format inside SAP SuccessFactors options. Click on your image icon, go to Settings. From the left-hand nav bar, click on Compensation Number Format. Here's where an individual can select the number format they'd like to see inside the compensation module. Please note that this does not necessarily need to be done here. This can be configured at the compensation form level itself. Note to administrators, and our recommendation would be that this gets removed from the settings. This is something that can be removed from this menu bar. Please contact SAP SuccessFactors or your partner to have that done. Now let's take a look at some of the forms options available to you. Click on your image icon, then click on Settings, and in the left-hand nav bar, click on Forms. Here you will have two options for auto-expanding text areas and field validations. These are used on your forms inside your system, for example, in performance management and compensation. This basically will allow the field to expand as you're typing in it. And the field validation will perform checks to make sure that the text entered in the fields are accurate. However, it would be our recommendation that this is something that is not necessarily displayed to the user. These can be controlled on a form-by-form basis and should basically be controlled there. Our recommendation would be for have these things turned on, but then have the forms option removed from the settings page. To do this, simply contact SAP or your partner and have this removed. Let's take a look at some of the system accessibility options SuccessFactors has for you. Start by clicking on your image icon and click on Settings. In the left-hand nav bar, click on Accessibility Settings. Here you'll see that we have 4 options available to us. Enhanced Screen Recorder Support basically will allow screen recorders the ability to read the data presented onto the screen in certain parts of the SAP SuccessFactors system. For any of these changes, simply click on the checkbox and click on Save to make them active in your system. Color visual adjustments are going to be pie charts that are going to be displayed inside the SuccessFactors system. Simply select the one that has the best option for you to view. High contrast. Underneath high contrast, we have 2 options. We can either have high contrast white text on a black background, or we can have black text on a white background. Currently, right now, you'll see here that my theme is using the standard SAP SuccessFactors theme, but I can easily change that. If I click on Save, you'll see immediately that the system is going to be refreshed, and now I'm going to be using a white text on a black background. Conversely, I can switch it again over and choose the black text on a white background, and again, depending on whichever is better for you, will be the one that you should select. I'm personally just going to switch it back to the regular version for now. And we also have the enhanced keyboard navigation. What this does is allow the keyboard via keyboard strokes to be able to move throughout the SuccessFactors system, giving you a little bit more flexibility in terms of managing how you're accessing the system. Again, just click on Save and all these options will be available in your system. Now let's talk about a user setting called Proxy or Proxy Management. To access this, click on your image icon, select Settings, and in left-hand nav bar, please select Proxy. Now, this is a section where most organizations choose only to restrict this access to very few people. So the majority of people will not even see Proxy in this drop-down list. However, just so you know that what is available to you to do, in this area here we have the ability to do two things. We can either assign a proxy or become a proxy. The assigned proxy is where we can go and add to allow permission for somebody else to act as us in the system. And become a proxy would be where we'd go when we want to act as somebody else who they gave us permission to do things on their behalf. First, let's explore the assigned proxy. So if I click on this, I will be able to see that I'll be able to select, or first off, I'll see all the people who I've been given proxy rights to. If I wanted to give somebody else proxy rights to me, to act as me in the system, I can come over here. I can type in their name, select them, and then select what I'd like them to do. So for example, if I only wanted them to see the home page and maybe the org chart, I can assign that, or I could select all. Again, if I wanted to remove proxy rights from somebody, I just come into the system and click on the red X. Once I'm okay with all this, I just click on save, and now that person will be given rights to me. For example, in this case here, Anya Singh has actually already given me proxy rights, so I can act as her in the system. In order to do this, I can do one of two things. I can click up here and click on Proxy Now, or I can go back to the Proxy section and click on the Become Proxy. In this case here, let's see the view from Proxy Now. It's asked me to select who I'd like to target as my proxy user. In this case here, I could type in Anya's name. Her username is sfadmin. If I didn't have her full spelling of her name, or maybe I misspelled something, the system will search to see. I could also use the system's double space here. So if I click on the space bar twice, it's actually going to go and pull me a list of all the people who I have access to through role-based permissions, or again from Proxy. If we have users in the system, for example, David, which we do, you will see here that I do not have access to David, so I will not see David in my list. Only the people I have access to or given permission to will be able to be displayed. So again, if I wanted to see Anya, I could type in her name, I can hit double space bar, and all the people I have access to will also be displayed. Just a quick little tip here for you. So in this case, let's select Anya Singh. We'll click on OK. And now the screen is going to refresh, and what's happening is I am now acting as Anya in the system. You can see here where it's saying that it's Jeff Hill acting on behalf of Anya. And again, in the system, when you do certain things, such as maybe approvals or anything else, you will notice that it will have that name appended to it. So Jeff Hill's name will be appended with Anya Singh as well. Just to show you that I come down to the launch home page area, and you'll see that I only have a few options available inside our drop-down list. To come myself again, I just click on Become Self, and now the screen's going to refresh, and I'm back in the system as myself. And again, you can see here by clicking on the drop-down list, I now have much more access to other areas. Let's take a look at the Groups option available on the User Settings page. Click on your image icon, select Settings. On the left-hand nav bar, select Groups. Again, this permission will only be here if you've been permissioned this in role-based permissions. Now, these groups you see here are going to be groups that are from across the platform. In other words, not only is it here that we're seeing here on the user settings page, but it's also available to you in other areas. For example, I can create a group here that will be used inside reporting. For example, when I want to go and share some information about a report, I can share that to a group of people. I can create that group of people inside reporting, and it would show here in my list, or I can create it here in this list, and it will show inside reporting. To create a new one, just click on a group, and then you'll be able to prompt through the different areas. In this example here, I'm just going to click on a group that's already made, and click on Doug's list. And as you can see here, it's starting off with all the people in Canada. Now, we have the ability to go through and change this. I selected country from the list, and then I selected Canada from a list of all the different variables. I clicked on done, and if I was to click on update, I now see I have 11 people. I can click on this 11 and see who those people are. Now, if I wanted to refine this a little bit, let's say, for example, I wanted to see people in Canada, but I also only wanted to see them if they were in a specific state or province. In this case here, I'm going to select state, and I'm going to choose Quebec. I'm just going to click on search, select Quebec. Then I'm going to click on look for Ontario, and I click on that. I'm going to click on done, and when I click on update, you will see now that I now only have 3, because out of those 11 people, 8 of which belong to different provinces. Something else that you can do here is add in a different area. So for example, this is going to be controlled. So I started with country and refined it by only taking the people within a certain province. But now I want to do is add in a whole other people pool as well. So I'm going to go and select state again for my drop-down list. And in this case, I'm dreaming of warmer weather. So I'm going to type in flow for Florida. Check the checkbox for Florida, click on done. And now when I hit update, it's bringing me up to 8 people. If I was to look at this, I would see my 3 people that were in Canada, specifically in Quebec and Ontario, and then there'll be 5 additional people added in for Florida. Let's take a quick look. So if I click on it, I can see here that I've added in those extra people from Miami. Now, one of the things is, though, that one of the persons in my list is Fiona. Fiona is the executive administrator for our CEO. I don't want to include her in any of our lists. So what I can do is I can exclude her. So in this case here, again, I'm using any of the attributes available to me. I'm going to click on user, and I'm going to type in her name. Fiona's name will appear. I will now click on done. And if I click on update, you're going to see now the list drops to 7. Where Fiona was there before, she now removed from this list. Now that I have done, I'll be able to see that I have this updated membership. It's of note that if I want to get rid of it, I could just simply hit the trash can. If I want to use this as a base, maybe for another group, I can copy it. I can also choose to show or hide it, but I can also see the members of this group. So in other words, if I click on it, I'm going to be able to see those 7 people that make it up. Let's take a look at setting up your mobile device. Simply click on your icon, then click on settings, and from the left-hand nav bar, choose mobile. Again, if your organization has set up mobile device to be used, you will be able to see this as part of the menu. If not, mobile will not be displayed. You have a few options. The first thing I would suggest is you go get the actual SuccessFactors mobile app from either the Google Play Store or the App Store for Apple. We could send you setup instructions. You can activate via the camera. And in this case here, I'll show you what this would look like. If you already have the SAP SuccessFactors application installed on your mobile device, simply go to click on it on your mobile device and click on the scan QR code. In this case here, you'll see activate with camera on your screen. The QR code will be displayed for 30 seconds. Simply point your phone at the computer screen and now the link will be made. If you are successful and your device is set up, all your devices that you set up using mobile will be displayed here. Again, you are not bound by only one device per login. You can have several devices, i.e. a tablet, your phone, maybe a different laptop computer that you're using as a mobile device itself. All of those will be displayed here. You can also manage them. So in other words, if you no longer want it on a certain device, you'd be able to come in here and delete that device as well. Let's take a look at the privacy statement area of user options. Click on your image icon, then click on settings. In the left-hand nav bar at the very bottom, you will see privacy statements if your system has been activated with these privacy statements. Typically, these statements are displayed to you on the first time that you've ever logged into SuccessFactors. Administrators could alternatively have new privacy statements updated and then sent to you. When you log into the system, that statement will be shared with you at that point in time. Additionally, those statements could be found here as well in the future. This concludes my exploration of all the user options available to you in the SAP SuccessFactors systems. If during my video you saw some functionality that you do not have in your system, it might be good for you to talk to your system administrator and see if you could have this functionality turned on or permission for you to use. Share my video with them as they may not know these features exist. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope this will help you with great success using your SAP SuccessFactors systems. If it did, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and get notified when I release future videos. If it didn't, or if you have a suggestion on future topics, please leave a comment below. For your information, this video is created with the SAP SuccessFactors Demo Massen version Amsterdam V1 July 2020. Things may have changed since then. Well, that's it for now. Keep succeeding, and I hope you join me again soon.